Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elena and happy new year. I hope everyone's having a great start of the year. I know I am trying to be on my, be consistent with these videos, so I'm just pushing out all this content and I wanted to discuss about things that I really like. And so this past month I watched Singles Inferno. Singles Inferno is basically, I don't know, something more akin to X on a Beach, Love Island, F-Boy Island. All those dating shows with the super hot people are on a beach being beautiful together, figuring out who they want to pick. Basically get chose 2022, but it's Korean this time. So I wanted to come to you guys with my thoughts and initial musings about the show, what I loved, what I didn't like, and what I hope to see in the next season if we do get one. So without further ado, let us begin with a review. Let's start and go by person and give you my first impressions of all these folks on this island looking to get chose. Hyunjin. Hyunjin is 27 years old. He's a personal trainer slash model on the side. Of course, with that body. I also think that he's a dancer. I definitely remember seeing some pictures of him dancing with Stray Kids or whatever. Yeah, I know. And I think Hyunjin's pretty handsome. Personality, there's not much to go off of, to be honest. Like, as a lover, I felt he was a little bit boring. But as a friend, I like the camaraderie he had with the other women and with the men. That was super nice. I think he's a really beautiful man. A little bit too pretty for my personal taste. Like for me, I need like a twinge. Like a droplet. Like a little dash of not ugly, but basic. So I can feel better about myself. Next person, let's go through all the guys. We have Jin Suk. Is that his name? Hold on. Jintuk. Oh, my bad, bro. We have Jintuk. Jintuk is, I don't know. His occupation is, I also don't know. That's how much of an impression I had of him. Jintuk, unfortunately for me, was a wallflower. I think body-wise, he was super hot. I think he's a handsome gentleman as well. He has what I'm talking about, that twinge of basicness to the face that makes me feel comfortable, my insecurities as well. But personality wise, wow, dull. Although I do want to say he was sweet. I think he was sweet overall with the person that he ended up with. So I won't be too harsh on Jintuk. My bad, y'all. Okay, next dude we have Sehun or Sehun. Yes, Sehun. Sehun is, I want to say he's 27 as well, 27, 28. And he is a restaurateur, owns his own restaurant. He cooks too. He's a great conversationalist. Sehun, we're going to get into it a little bit down the end, but I was up and down with him. I felt like a kombucha girl. I was like, sure, That's how I felt about him throughout the entire series. I do think first impression, I really liked him. I liked how he took command of the dinner and he felt to be more personable. Like, I think he's good at making conversations, but there are just some things about Sehun that I enjoy, but there are things that I did not like, but at the same time, we're going to talk about it later. The next fella we're going to talk about is Sehun or Sehun. Fuck. I swear, I apologize for butchering these names. Sehun. Sehun is 30. 30 Club. Sehun is 30. He is a brand owner of some clothing store. No tea, no shade. Them clothes look pretty basic. Like his personality. Whoops. I take it back. He's a nice gentleman. I think he's actually a softie. I think he can be a very caring partner. However, that outfit he wore at the beach the first day, what were you wearing? You're going to a beach. He had a full-on sweater, the vest sweater things, with a buttoned long sleeve white shirt. Where are you going? But I do think he's adorable. I think he looks like any idol. Baby face. Okay, 30 wear. Drop the skincare link. Other than that, I too, with this fella, I do have some some thoughts on his actions with his potential love prospects. But again, we'll get into that later on. Speaking of dressing hot as fuck on a beach, Jintek. Jintek came to the island in a full-blown suit. Linen, but still a suit. Anyway, Jintek is, I want to say, in his 30s, 31. Yeah, I think he's 31. He is quite hairy. Baby, homie was manscaping. I enjoyed it though. Like, he's actually very hairy. I'm sorry, it stood out to me, like his legs, his chest, his beard, but I loved it. Jintek, however, first impressions, didn't care for him. I didn't care for him. He was too posy for me. He was doing these weird things like this or during his confessions, and I just didn't understand it. It felt very unnatural. It didn't seem something that one would do. I just think on camera he's so aware of himself that he just does these unnatural movements that just didn't make sense to me, and I felt that he moved just a tad bit shifty during the process, but not too shifty. Like, I don't feel the same way as other people do online, but I do notice that, you know, he could have moved a little differently, but overall he's cute. Okay, so I had look at me blushing already. I haven't even started. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about Hyungsun. Hyungsun, 31 years old. He's a dancer. I think he models too, maybe on the side. I mean, if he doesn't, he better, because he looked that damn good. Hyungsun, again, he don't have that super pretty boy look, which again I love, but oh my god, insert that meme of girl melting. That's how I felt when he came on the screen. I was like, okay, look at that. I love me a tat boy. I love tattoos on men. Not too much though, I'm just saying. And he just came in there with a bravado, baby. The bravado, it was ringing through the whole island. I loved it. He was giving me the extra spice that I needed. Again, disappointed me. I'm telling you, these fellas disappointed me this season. They did, but overall, he's fine as hell. And I enjoyed more screen time with him. Unfortunately, Hyungsun came towards the end of the competition. Is it a competition? Show? Whatever you want to call it. He came towards the end, so we didn't get to see much of him as I would have liked. My collar is all over the place. Excuse me. We didn't get to see much of him as I would prefer. But we got, you know, it was nice. There were some things, again, we'll get to the end, that I didn't like. But I enjoy his looks. Next girl is Yoan. That's how you pronounce her name, right? Yoan. Yoan is super cute. I enjoy her. I think she's so adorable. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, I did not like her voice. It was a little bit nasally. It was giving Miley Cyrus tease. I'm just not that kind of girl for those voices. However, when I stopped my hateration, I began to enjoy her more and more. Her body, my God. Woof. Yoan's body. When I tell you I went to the gym yesterday going hard in the paint just because of her. Just because of her. Then we have Jiwon. Jiwon is super cute and adorable. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's highly intelligent. And according to the men, because of her white skin, she's innocent and she's pure. I'm just kidding. Jiwon is a gorgeous girl. I think she's super dope. And she just has that, you know, you watch a Korean drama and the girl who's super pretty and popular and everything is great about her, she can do no wrong. That's Jiwon. That's her. That's her. I honestly can take her or leave her, to be honest. She didn't really pull me all the way personality wise, but I think just on paper, I think she's cool. Let's move on to our fan favorite, Soyeon. She's 34 years old and she owns her own boxing club. Also, I found out on TikTok, she apparently was a second generation idol in a co-ed group. Who would have thought? Soyeon's my favorite. She is drop dead gorgeous, super athletic. I think she has this fun personality. I think she had great camaraderie with everyone on the set, including the girls and the boys. There were some moments, I'm going to ruffle some feathers when I say this, where her insecurities, in my personal opinion, came to fruition on the show. But overall, I think she's super great. More of her in the future. I'm going to follow her on Instagram right now. Number one girl, Gia. Gia came on the scene with her full outfit. What was she wearing? Vogue, Prada. Chanel, I don't know. She was dressed to the nines, baby, but dazzling in the sun, looking beautiful and unbothered. I want to be Gia. My mood this year is to be Gia all the way. Gia is what, 25 years old. She's a social influencer and she is super gorgeous. And I just want to mimic her whole essence of don't try too hard. But of course, to be Gia, you have 2 steps. Number 1, be drop dead gorgeous. Number 2, be unbothered. And I'm trying my best to be that. The new girls. The new girls enter the show, I want to say like day 4, day 5, what have you. Day 6 maybe. Actually, yeah, I want to say that. We have Kim Sumin, who is 24 years old and she's super adorable. She has a cute dimple on the side. Her personality seems nice. It seems, you know, sweet. She has an innocent, pure look like Jiyeon. Then we have Minji, who also has that cute look. However, Minji got a snake eye. You know, I'm like throughout the show, she was either mean mugging somebody, Jiyeon, or she was just like scowling and looking very sad, especially towards the end. And I felt bad for her in particular. Of all the people, honestly, those 2 girls, I felt bad for because they should not have been brought on the show towards the end. It makes no sense. Keep everyone at the beginning. So I forgot to mention they're on this island for 9 days. And on the 9th day, they have to pick the person they want to be booed up with. And even though we have an even amount of girls and guys on this island, not everyone gets picked or gets chose. So I'm just going to go couple by couple and let you know my thoughts on their relationship and their time on the island and how I just feel about them. Because I have some thoughts. I got thoughts. First couple who got booed up, Yeowon and Jintuk. As you notice, as you remembered, Jintuk is boring to me. I did not care for him because, again, he wasn't talking. He barely had any camera time. His number 1 choice, his number 1 draft pick was Gia. Gia. And of course, Gia did not care for him. Gia was not interested in him at all. And Yeowon, I will say this. What I liked about her and what kind of won me over was that for 2 days straight, homegirl ain't get chose by nobody. By nobody. Just sitting there all by herself. All by herself on that little island. And yet she just had a bubbly personality. She just kept it cute. And I loved it about her. She was still hung up on Jintuk. That was her number 1 choice from the beginning. And it stayed that way until, you know, Hyungsun came about. We'll talk about that later. And then she stayed devoted to him when they ended up going to paradise one time. And then in the end, they came together. And the reason why I think Jintuk is kind of sweet, even though I don't really care for them as a pairing, is because on the island, when the sun was bright and shining in homegirl's face, he was like protecting her, you know, being all cute and adorable. Other than that, I really didn't see much interaction of them. And unfortunately, Yeowon and Jintuk just didn't get enough camera time as a couple for me to really care. Let's move on to Soyeon and Jintaek. Aesthetically, this couple is absolutely gorgeous. Below the surface, not so much. I mean, they're not that bad. They're actually pretty cute. But there are just some things I didn't care for them. In the beginning, they looked really cute. You know, Jintaek in that big ass suit of his, and then Soyeon in that beautiful black dress of hers. They matched really well. I felt their energy. I liked it. Chemistry. Although Soyeon didn't really check for him in the beginning. She actually picked Sehun as her choice. She didn't go for Jintaek. They go on their date to paradise. It's nice. They come back. It's 2nd day. You have to pick another person for paradise. And then Jintaek picks Jiyeon instead. This is where Soyeon's insecurities start to come about. And I don't know why. Mama, you are drop dead gorgeous. She's pretty. Great personality. Everything about her is like A1. And yet for whatever reason, there was some scenes where I just did not really care for it. For instance, when Jintaek came back from his date with Jiyeon, she was pressing him for being played. She accused him of playing her because he picked another girl, even though you're supposed to pick another girl. But she picked a guy who she knew wouldn't pick her, so she can stay on the island, and then Jintaek can stay on the island himself, and they can bond together on the island. Girl, y'all ain't together. Y'all just met yesterday or the day before. And yet you assume that he's going to have this devotion or loyalty to you right off the bat? The whole point of the show is to mix and mingle. I mean, the rule was to pick somebody else. And did you communicate with Jin Taek you're gonna do this, or did you assume? Why would you assume? Like, it just felt really strange. And for her to say that she's being played, like, I agree with Hyunjin when she was talking to him. Like, that's the rule. Pick somebody else. If you wanted to waste your dates by picking people you are not interested in, that was your choice. And then she just couldn't handle Jin Taek having something else with another woman because she wanted to go home afterwards. And then Yeowon, I believe, was trying to encourage her and make her realize, go pick somebody else, girl. And so she suggested to pick Sehun because initially, like, all these names are mixing up in my head. Soyeon was initially like Sehun. And so I was like, all right, okay, let's pursue this. Yes, girl. I thought their chemistry on the island was nice. A little too friendly and, in the friend zone. But she could probably, zhuzh it up a bit. Pump the titties up and entice Sehun, but no, she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She had this conversation with him talking about how you're being too clingy to Jiyeon. Stop it, you're being creepy. And I thought to myself, valid. But I just don't think if you're trying to shoot your shot with a guy, you should tell him that. What I would do, however, is probably just say, listen, you too stuck on this girl who don't want you. Or you too busy chasing some other girl. And yet here I am looking right at your face. What you gonna do about that? Come with a bravado, with a confidence. I know she wants to pursue men, like, put herself out of her comfort zone and try and entice a man on her own. But I'm like, you weren't going about it in the right way. If that whole conversation was to be you to shoot your shot at Sehun, I just didn't see how you did it, girl. You was you're putting a mirror to his face, and that's great as a friend. But as a prospect, I'm just saying, fuck that a hoe. No offense, Jiyeon. Fuck her. Don't even include her in the conversation. Shoot your shot and see what he gonna do with it. And then with her last day with Jin Taek, again, it was super cute. But girl, she was asking a lot of validating questions to him. Like, do you pick me? Do you want me? And on the flip side, I understand making sure that she doesn't leave this island with egg on her face. But on the other side, I'm like, girl, just be fun with the date. Just be fun. The conversation just felt with her and Jin Taek, it felt very like, do you want me? Pick me. That's how it came across at times. And I just wanted her to just look in that mirror, realize you are a badass bitch, and let these hoes chase you. And if these hoes don't want to chase you, well, guess what? They're fucking lost. That's what I wanted from Soyeon. And don't go out here giving these men these beautiful, well thought out massages. She was putting her whole back into it. Whereas he gave her this lame ass like foot massage. I did not care for that. I didn't care for it at all. Now Jin Taek. Oof. Again, cringy impression of Jin Taek because of his poser-ish manners. I did like him when he was pursuing Soyeon because I thought they were really cute together. But I think for me, Jin Taek just needs to be more honest. He's not a total F-boy. He has hints of it because he just wasn't being truthful. You just need to speak your truth. If a girl wants to press you for picking some other girl on a date, just be real. Yeah, I picked her because I like her. And I want to pursue her on this island too. I want to pursue both of you because that's the premise of this fucking show, is to mix and mingle with other people. Point blank period. What the fuck she gonna say? And then when he had his date with Jiyeon and Jiyeon asked him about his date with Soyeon, which by the way, girls, why I care? Why I care what he did with some other bitch? That ain't none of your business. Who cares? It's about you and him. Anyway, Jin Taek downplays his date with Soyeon and acted as if all they did was just eat, and that was just it, as if it was some lame ass date. And I didn't like that. Y'all had a good time together, so we saw in the edit of that episode. So you shouldn't downplay. Just be honest. Yeah, we had a great time, and then ask her a question. Just do that. Just do that. I don't know. Jin Taek, he's a nice man. I think he's handsome, but I just didn't feel like he was pursuing Soyeon at the full level and enthusiasm as the other men were pursuing the other girls like Jia and Jiyeon. And I just got like, I got meh. I just got meh from him. But who am I to talk? Because apparently Soyeon and Jintaek are still together, or they're actually dating, according to these TikTok streets. I don't know. Gia. Alright, our next couple or throuple. Was it throuple? Triangle? No? Was there like 4 people with square? Our next love square is Gia, Sehun, Hyungjun, and Hyunsun. Girl, Gia had all the boys to the eyes with her milkshake. I'm telling you, them Prada, those Chanel dresses, the perfume she must have been wearing, her eyeshadow, her hair, her purse. Speaking of purse, baby girl, where are you going with it? All throughout the island, homegirl is carrying that little furry Prada purse. Where are you going with your purse, baby girl? You don't even have a real bathroom. You have a porta potty. You gotta go down the freaking island to catch some water. And yet she got her purse with her, like she gonna buy something. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was hilarious. But anyway, Gia is beautiful. From the get-go, I think Hyunjun and Sehun really liked her. And Hyunjun and Gia seemed to have more of a chemistry and I don't know, more of a oomph to them versus Gia and Sehun. Sehun, unfortunately, actually all the boys, to be honest, were like puppies to her. They were just following her, constantly trying to check in with her, asking her questions. But Sehun in particular was giving me stalker. I mean, he was just following Gia and Hyunjun all over the island, just following them like a little sad puppy. There's one scene where he's flat ironing her hair and she just couldn't be bothered. She couldn't be bothered. Young man, what makes you think that's enticing her? Like, nothing about that was cute. It was sad to watch, to be honest, to see him just following that girl. And then Hyunjin too was just like a waiting puppy too. He was always in a tent, just like, cause Gia stays at Paradise. She might as well have a whole suite to herself. Because she was there almost every freaking night, baby. This man wanted her. And then when Hyungsung came into the scene, oh, what a disappointment. Hyungsung is fine as hell, as I mentioned before. And I thought he was going to shake things up, maybe interested in somebody else. And he wasn't. Right off the bat, apparently he and Gia knew each other. And so he instantly picked her for a date. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, of course, Gia again. Again, I love Gia, I really do. But I just wanted to see something else. A different couple, a different girl, a different interaction. And then when the boys were playing some mud wrestling game, of course, Hyungsung came in. Woo, baby, I'm sorry. Hyungsung came in and demolished that game. And all the girls, including myself, was so turned on by that. They decided to have this little speed dating session. And then Hyungsung was able to talk to Yeon. And so all of us, I want to say the whole fandom, so to speak, was probably just hoping and waiting that he will pick Yeon. And we can just see somebody else, a fresh new couple at Paradise. But he didn't. He picked Gia. And he only stayed with Gia. He didn't even pursue Yeon at all. You know, he just thought she was cute. He teased us, made us think he gonna pick somebody else, and then just stayed stuck with Gia. In the end, Gia had her fill. She had a lot of men who wanted her. At the end of the show, on the 9th day, you're supposed to stand somewhere, and then you're supposed to wait for a guy to come to you, and then you pick between the people who are standing in front of you. And so Gia has Sehun, Hyungjun, and Hyungsun in front of her. And she picked her little kangaji, her little puppy, Hyungjun, and they walked off into the sunset. And that's it. And of course, Gia looked bored as she walked into the sunset. But not totally bored. She gives them a little bit. You know, she gives you bother, I could care less kind of attitude. But every once in a blue moon, she'll drop a compliment to keep them enticed. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. This year, 2022, Gia mood all year. That's how I'm going to be on dates. Just this. Okay. A little smirk at best. Let's talk about a couple who wasn't a couple. Sehun and Sumin. Sumin, who clearly was, rejected by Sehun, decided to actually look around and see who else she can probably be interested in. Thank God, somebody who actually tried to mix and mingle. and she set her eyes on Sehun, or sorry, Sehun. I thought they looked. I didn't really feel anything from them, to be honest. I'll be real. I'll be real as hell. Chemistry wise, I think they didn't have much chemistry. I think they were able to be cordial with each other at Paradise. I just didn't feel any like hint eyes. There was no charm coming from Sehun. He didn't seem enamored as he was with Gia. I mean, he was a talkative Nancy with Gia. He was like, oh my god, Gia, I've never met any girl like you before. And then with Sumin, it was just like radio silence, so to speak. He was just being polite. So I was not surprised in the end when Sumin was waiting for him to approach her that he didn't. He like gave her like a thank you and kept walking by. I felt bad for her. I did. I really felt bad for her. And Sehun decided to go with his true love, Gia, you know, trying to follow in Suhun's footsteps and follow his heart to the very end. And of course, he got denied, and so did Sumin. And Sumin was sitting there looking all forlorn at the island. I felt bad for her because that camera, oh my god. That camera was like panning around all the lonely people, and I thought shade. That was shade to me. But I felt, as I said before, I felt bad for her because I just didn't think she got her due diligence. I think as she was there in the beginning, she would have a better, I don't know, opportunity getting chose, for real, for real. All right, let's start with the last couple. This couple gave me a lot of stress. Sehun and Jiyeon. This couple, holy fuck. From the beginning, Sehun really liked Jiyeon. I mean, liked her. He was up and stuck on that girl. And, you know, yeah, she's a pretty girl, so I'm not surprised. But it was quite obvious, too, that Jiyeon just wasn't feeling him. I mean, she had 2 opportunities to pick you, and she didn't. She picked 2 other people. And then, when she's on the island and Sehun happens to be near her, before she had all this energy, she's talking to everybody, she's so she has, like, energy. And then when he comes around, she's like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh, just 2 minutes ago I was just so happy, but now I'm just so tired. So tired. And I really want to know what kind of conversation they were going to have at the fire pit. Because there's one moment when I think she wanted to kind of break the ice, because feeling really awkward, the tension was very strange. And then that motherfucking girl, someone brought her ass over and interrupted the faux atmosphere. I was so pissed. Because I thought maybe at that moment, Jiyeon was going to tell me, like, boy, stop pursuing me. I don't want you. But I don't know, and we'll never know. But anyway, Sehun, you know, he's on the island. He's having a freaking mental breakdown because he just can't understand or fathom the fact that Jiyeon does not want him. And he's just sitting there like a lost puppy. Like, what? It's never happened to me. And this is where the culture difference from me comes into play. So the new girls, Minji and Sumin, comes on the island, and they are all for Sehun. They just want him. And again, I think Sehun is a good conversationalist. I think he's a good date. He seems like a nice person overall. And I'm assuming he can finally go to Paradise and go with a girl who actually wants him. And who does he pick? Jiyeon. That's right. The girl who's constantly saying she's so tired. Oh my god. Doesn't look in his direction. Doesn't want to be around him. He picks her. My first thought was, ugh. Oh my god. I was just like, oh hell nah. I know he ain't forcing this girl on no fucking date when she damn sure don't want to go on a date with him. Oh my gosh. And her face, you know, she's trying to be nice, but like, okay, and go on this date. And he tells her, when I walk into the helicopter, don't feel pressure. This is for me. I did not like that line. I didn't like that. That didn't make no sense to me. Don't feel pressure. This is for me. What about me? What about Gia and her feelings? She's supposed to like the date too, not just you, sweetheart. But again, the culture difference. My impression of that scene was ugh. And I think a lot of other people from the West too felt that way. But then when he revealed that he wants Jiyeon, everybody on the show, including the people who were the commentators I do from Super Junior and whatnot, they were like, oh my god, wow, I'm so proud of him. Like, wow, I didn't believe he had it in him. Like, oh my, they were dapping homie up, baby. They were dapping him up. They were like, wow, he's the man of the hour here. He stuck to his guns. He's pursuing her full gusto. They were like, yeah. I couldn't understand it. It just didn't make sense to me. I didn't realize they viewed it as being tenacious. They didn't view it as being a good thing, and it threw me off. It really did. And so it just made me think of a huge cultural difference, because honestly, like, let me know what y'all think. Like, did that felt weird to you? Do you feel like Sehun was being pushy, like he just was disregarding her feelings? And then I'm thinking, oh, Jiyeon's gonna be so bothered with this trip. She gonna care for him. She gonna tell him the truth. This girl is having a good time. They get to know each other. They're conversing. Again, Sehun's a good conversationalist. That weird, awkward atmosphere they had throughout the island is completely gone in Paradise. They have this lovely dinner. He's wearing this outfit. I'm sorry, yo. It threw me off. He's wearing this outfit and he's just talking to her, letting her know his feelings about her, his feelings for her, and Jiyeon starts crying. She starts to cry and she is just like, I can't believe I misjudged you. Tear, tear, tear. But in the end, it worked out for him. He got the girl he wanted. I am curious to know, did they actually went on other dates? You know, was it something of value in the end? I'm curious. If anybody knows, let me know. Let me know. So those were my thoughts on Singles Inferno. I'm gonna be honest, the last 2 episodes were a bit of a dud for me. I mean, all throughout the season I liked it, mostly because I thought we were gonna have more episodes, because these couples weren't mixing and mingling. They just stay stuck on one person they liked on day 1 and then just didn't even bother. That's why I got so annoyed with Hyungsun. You already know Jia. You could have hooked up with her beforehand. You probably did. I don't know. Let's be real. These are 2 beautiful people. You need to tell me I never like went on a date? Girl, get out of here. And I just felt like everybody was just so stuck on one person, and they refused to try and see other people. And because they were stuck on that one person, people are trying to be considerate and not go the full Monty when trying to pursue someone. Like, no one was trying to steal somebody besides Hyungsun and Wajia and Hyungjin. But other than that, for the most part, we didn't really get that mess. And I'm not expecting mess like Love After Lockup or, you know, Love and Hip Hop, but I wanted a little bit of it. A little bit more competition, because now you just have these people just shooting their shot in some place that doesn't need to be shot at. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. That just didn't sit well with me. I just got annoyed with that. It gave me a headache. I was just so bored by that factor that it really irritated me. Another thing that I didn't like, and again, I know what I'm watching. I know what culture, what country the show is from. And so I'm not expecting some raunchiness, but I wanted some kissing. We barely got any real like booed up moment. I barely saw people leaning their head on somebody's shoulder. There was no kisses, not even on the cheek. We didn't even get no hugs. Oh, and I assumed that because it was on Netflix, maybe we wouldn't feel burdened by being conservative with that. But we were. And my last con was the fact that it was so freaking short, episode wise, and the series itself is 9 days. Like, come on, girl, give us some more. Give us some more people, because it didn't make sense to have it to be 9 days and then introduce new people on like day 6 or 7. When these folks don't feel the need to even try to pursue other people. So it's kind of pointless to even introduce people, because they weren't even looking for people. They weren't really checking for them. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just salty because I was totally wrong about Jiyeon not liking Sehun. And I feel like all this egg on my face is hurting my feelings. But I'm in my feelings about this, and I just don't really care for this. But I will be watching season 2, if there is one. And I was under the impression that this was like the first like dating show or reality dating show in Korea. But apparently there's more. There's like Love Catcher and Transit Love, which I will be watching and hopefully reviewing. But let me know what you guys think about Singles Inferno. Did you actually like the season? What are your thoughts on Sehun and Jiyeon? Like, am I just being negative Nancy? Am I also being quite negative when it came to Soyeon and Jintaek? I don't know. That's just my initial thoughts. But let me know, who is your favorite couple? What are some things that you would change about the show? And what are some things you liked about the show? Please comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.